What's going on YouTube? It's your boy GrandPaPenguin. Today's YouTube video we're actually going to be reacting to is why the Eagles are an extremely dangerous team going into the 2022 season of the NFL playoffs. Mighty Chase, let's get right into the video. Before we actually get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you guys are currently new. If you guys haven't done so, turn on bell notifications. 66% of you guys have not subscribed. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Be greatly appreciated. Just hit the red bell notification. That all being said, much love. Peace out. Catch you guys next video. Peace. All right. Why the Eagles are an extremely dangerous team going into 2022 NFL playoffs. Let's get into the video. I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. Huge fan. I was super surprised that my man's Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, actually won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 52 against the Patriots. So, let's go.
Start to this season, the Philadelphia Eagles have officially clinched a playoff.
Yes, sir. We clinched that playoffs.
Accomplishment for a team that was expected to be among the worst in the NFL.
We were technically the worst, and then as soon as Nick Sirianni started the run game, we were hella dominant.
Does not mean that they're satisfied with where they are.
Yes.
The Philadelphia Eagles have been one of the hottest teams in the entire NFL over the past 10 weeks, and they hope to continue that into the playoffs.
Oh, the beats are on fire.
Eagles can be one of the sneaky, dangerous teams heading into the NFL playoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles have gone 7-2 over their last 9 games.
7-2, yes, sir.
Can be credited to the fact that this team has found their identity. Their identity
just
is
run the ball.
Running the football. They've
just
been
run the
one
ball.
Of the best rushing offenses in the NFL over the past 10 weeks. But it's really insane to think about because when you look back at the
because they got the insane offensive line as well.
Did not do at all. Fans really wanted to see more of the run game because in the first 7 weeks, the Eagles just were not running the ball.
Run the ball! Run the ball!
They weren't giving their running backs carries.
Yes.
They weren't running the ball, and they were putting everything on Jalen Hurts' shoulders, which was making it more difficult. But the fans saw that whenever the Eagles would run the ball, good things would happen, so they wanted to see more of that. And the turnaround was really in Week 8 when they quickly, from that point forward, turned themselves into one of the best rushing offenses in the NFL.
Yes.
This can be credited to a lot
Boston
of people.
Scott, Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Kenneth Gainwell,
and making some adjustments. This can also be credited to the offensive line, which has been one of the best in the entire league over the season, led by
super
Kelsey
underrated.
And Lane
Kelsey and Lane Johnson are insane.
Credited to the 4 main ball carriers on this team, which is very surprising. The Eagles have a very run-by-committee style.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts as well.
Their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who actually leads the team in rushing. Miles Sanders, who's been this team's best running back this season and just needs to stay healthy. Jordan Howard, who's been their good power back
brute
and able to get tough yards after contact. And Boston Scott, who especially in that Washington game last week was very good and efficient. And whenever he gets on the field, he just seems to make an impact and make the most of his touches. So the Eagles have been able to carry on a winning streak and maintain winning success through their run game. And this is one of the main reasons why the Philadelphia Eagles can cause problems for some of the other
Kelsey. Kelsey's insane.
Playoff picture. Now, obviously, other playoff teams are going to know that the Eagles are going to want to run the football, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to be able to stop them depending on the defense. I would go back to a game that the Eagles played against the New Orleans Saints this season, in which coming in, the Saints had the best rush defense in the entire NFL.
Yeah, we just exposed that.
Exposed and destroyed them. Led by Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, they ran for 242 yards.
We just straight up exposed them.
Those touchdowns coming from Jalen Hurts on the ground. This just goes to show that the Eagles can impose their will on.
Oh, he just broke his ankles. He broke his ankles. He was OD'ing.
Run the football against any defense in the entire NFL. Combine that with the fact that we are now at this point in January, and especially heading down the stretch of games, teams are going to be hesitant and not want to see a player like Jordan Howard running straight at them.
Yeah, I would hate it in January. Jordan Howard, Jalen Hurts, or like Boston Scott.
They're not going to want to see that. The Eagles have a really Philadelphia type of style of play. It's
only hungry dogs always run faster.
The main reason why the Eagles have gone on their hot streak and been one of the best teams in the NFL over the past 9 weeks. However, there is a potential that a certain team figures out a way to at least slow down the Eagles' run game, because I don't see the run game being able to be completely stopped, but at least being able to be slowed down and try to make Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, because honestly, you got so many running backs.
Jalen Hurts has shown improvement, and throughout the season even, he has shown improvement throwing the football. And Jalen Hurts has been a winner wherever he goes. He was a winner at Alabama, he was a winner at Oklahoma, and he's been a winner here in the NFL, leading the Eagles to the playoffs in his first full season starting, which nobody expected. So Jalen Hurts can make some wins.
Jalen Hurts is the stuff.
And he's given them opportunities to win games before. There was the game against the Panthers when he led the team down the field for a game-winning touchdown. So Jalen Hurts can make plays in key moments.
Broke his ankle still. That's never going to get old.
Potential to be able to come through. And since he's been a winner, he can make winning plays, obviously. Even if a team does force Jalen Hurts to beat them, the run game at that point won't be as dominant as it has been throughout the season, but it still will have been effective, and Jalen Hurts is just going to
put his body on his line.
A few key plays, and I think Jalen Hurts is capable of doing that, and he has proven that this season and even before that. I also trust a couple of the Eagles pass catchers, Devonta Smith and Dallas Goddard. Devonta Smith and Dallas Goddard have been very, very good coming down the stretch of the season as well. Devonta Smith is only a couple yards shy of breaking the Eagles' all-time receiving yards record for a rookie.
38 yards, 38 yards shy
of a record. Has been one of the best tight ends in football, having multiple 100-yard games. And these two players have been really, really reliable and good.
Dallas Goddard kind of reminds me of like Travis Kelce type.
To have to
little bit
win games through the air, he's got a couple of pass catchers.
That was a beautiful pass.
Well, the most concerning thing I think about this football team going into the playoffs, and what I think could potentially maybe even cost them a game if they're going to lose, would be the defense, which is odd because that's
they can't stop the running game.
Team over the past few weeks. Jonathan Gannon, in my opinion, is too passive. I think when you look at the great defenses in the NFL,
he gives the quarterback too much respect.
Able to get pressure on the quarterback, and Jonathan Gannon likes to sit back, and this was shown last week in the win versus Washington. In the first half, Washington was able to score 16 points, and they scored on every drive they had in that first half because Jonathan Gannon would sit back and he just allowed the quarterback to pick them apart. Now, in the third quarter, they were a bit more aggressive, and Josh Sweat completely took the game over, and that's what turned it around. They didn't score in the second half. But even on that final drive, they were moving down the field until Rodney McLeod picked that throw off from Taylor Heineke in the end zone and had the game-winning interception. So I think Jonathan Gannon's going to need to see that he needs to get pressure on the quarterback, because if you sit back on a quarterback like Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford,
no shot,
because they're just going to pick you apart. However, I do think the defense has the players and the personnel.
They do got the players
to make plays, and I think that if Jonathan Gannon just sees that he has to put a little bit of pressure and he can't just sit back completely, and he does what he did even in the second half of that Washington game, these players can make plays and they can get to the quarterback and they can force them into tough decisions. So I do think the defense has the potential to be good, and that's just the one area of the team where it could go really good.
That's a nice pass.
Not so good, pretty bad.
Nice catch.
And that could end up costing us a game. So as long as the defense holds up their end of the bargain, Jonathan Gannon holds up his end of the bargain, I do think the Eagles can be one of the more dangerous teams heading into the playoffs for the reasons I just stated. Overall, the Eagles will enter the playoffs as one of the hottest teams in the entire NFL. So I think the Eagles have a really good shot at being one of the more dangerous teams in the NFL heading to the playoffs, and they could shock a lot of people in the postseason.
Ooh, that was a nice tackle.
The best in the NFL since they started their hot streak, and their defense has picked up, and as long as they hold up their end of the bargain, I think this Eagles team can be really, really, really dangerous. Assuming Miles Sanders comes back in the playoffs, which Nick Sirianni did say he thinks that there's a good chance that he will.
Oh, really?
I think that this running game
will
be very successful, very effective, and they'll be very physical.
Yeah, all we heard was that he just broke his hand.
Drive them to potentially pulling off an upset, and what could drive them to potentially making an actual run in the postseason. 142 yards.
We just straight up exposed them.
All 3 of those touchdowns coming from Jalen Hurts on the ground. This just goes to show that the Eagles can impose their will on.
Oh, he just broke his ankles. He broke his ankles. He was ODing.